The King's Avatar, Chapter 1153 Can't Back Down Even a Single Step. Audio source, wuxia-world-audiobook.com. Chapter 1153, Can't Back Down Even a Single Step. Translator, Nomyami. Editor, Nomyami. No setup. No probing. The two characters met in the center, made a move, and started fighting. The battle instantly reached a high point. Everyone in the crowd was caught off guard. No one had expected the fight to be so intense as soon as the two clashed. For a moment, they even forgot to cheer and applaud. Berserker, Battle Mage. Two extremely offense-oriented classes. Greatsword, Spear. These two heavy weapons had sky-high physical attack. But at this moment, under the two players' high-pace playing, blossoming chaos's burial blossoms and soft mists dancing fire-flowing flame had turned into two gleams of light. The fast flashing collisions between the two weapons made it difficult for many to completely identify what skill each of them were using. Yu Feng was an all-star and a top player. He ought to be performing at a high level. However, Tang Rou was able to defend against this high-level playing. To the crowd, she was a bigger highlight. She's worthy of being a battle mage coached by Yi Xiu. The countless viewers watching this match all thought this. Even though there was no official statement that Tang Rou was Yi Xiu's student, she had been discovered by Yi Xiu and a battle mage that had grown beside him. Whatever the case, it was impossible to say that Yi Xiu was not involved. In fact, this was exactly the case. As long as Tang Rou needed it, Yi Xiu had passed on everything he knew about battle mages to Tang Rou. After that, he helped Tang Rou establish her own style. Tang Rou was a rookie who had no fear. In the end, her playing was so fierce and violent that many people had trouble believing that such a beautiful girl could have such a ferocious battle mage. Yi Xiu's battle mage had also been very fierce. If not, he wouldn't have been called the battle god. However, his fierceness differed from Tang Rou's. His fierceness couldn't be replicated by Tang Rou because for Yi Xiu, apart from being a battle mage, he was a master, proficient with all classes. His fierceness had been built upon this solid foundation. His techniques might seem very ordinary, but in real combat, these same techniques were difficult to defend against because the opponent would discover that no matter how he or she responded to it, everything would be within Yi Xiu's grasp. One attack until the end, bringing about the title Battle God. It could be said that it was because Yi Xiu had chosen a battle mage to be his main, so one autumn leaf became the Battle God. But if he had chosen a different class, the title Battle God might have belonged to a different character. Through her own style, Tang Rou attracted everyone's attention because her opponent was Yu Feng, an all-star level top player. A rookie could fight on par with a top player. How could there be anything else but praise for her? But with the two really evenly matched, the fast pace made it difficult for the viewers to clearly see the situation, but right now, Yu Feng was feeling fearful. He realized that he was being suppressed. Countless playstyles had emerged from this berserker class. From the number one berserker player, Sun Zheping, to the many players now. Even among these playstyles, Yu Feng was an anomaly. His berserker was also very aggressive, but it wasn't as simple or crude as the traditional berserker. Within his wildness lay exceptional precision. It could be said that Yu Feng's berserker had founded a new style. Although it had yet to become mainstream, he was most definitely the number one berserker right now. At the moment, Tang Rou and he were clashing with brute force to determine victory. In reality, this wasn't what Yu Feng excelled at. However, Tang Rou was a rookie, and he was Team 100 Blossoms captain and core, an all-star level top player. Yu Feng could not accept cowering against a rookie in a direct confrontation. After all, he was not someone who played dirty. As a result, he decided to confront this rookie directly. However, after clashing with her, he discovered that this rookie's fierceness surpassed his expectations. If he truly continued to fight like this, he really might just lose out of carelessness. I need to find back my rhythm. Yu Feng instantly grasped the crux of the problem. In order to protect his image and Team 100 Blossom's morale, he had decided to fight at Tang Rou's pace and beat her. But after fighting her, he realized that beating her in this way wasn't so easy. He needed to drag the match back into his pace to win. No matter what, if he truly lost, it would be the biggest blow to his image and the team's morale. Once he made his decision, Yu Feng immediately went from fighting for the initiative to going on the defense. When Dragon Tooth came at him, Yu Feng didn't have Blossoming Chaos dodge and counterattack. Instead, he attacked the Dragon Tooth to parry it. To his surprise, Dragon Tooth abruptly stopped and then stabbed twice into a double stab. The change had been too rapid, and the spear had been too close. Yu Feng wasn't able to parry it with an attack and hastily switched to using the skill, Guard. Clang! Clang! Two clangs rang in quick succession. The double stab had been blocked. Blossoming Chaos slid backwards. Yu Feng also jumped back too. He wanted to pull apart the distance and slow down the pace. He had retreated quite fast, but Soft Miss pressed forward even faster. It was almost as if she had been charging forward before even confirming that Dragon Tooth and Double Stab had connected. Phantom Dragon Teeth. Another skill followed. Soft Miss flicked her wrist, and her spear transformed into numerous dragon teeth. How many? Yu Feng's eyes widened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 after images. Phantom Dragon Teeth was similar to the Blade Master's Shadow Steps. It relied on player input to create and maintain these after images. The higher the number, the faster the hand speed and precision required. 8 Phantom Dragon Teeth. A rookie could actually reach such a level. Let alone trying to parry Phantom Dragon Teeth, using guard wouldn't work either. Yu Feng didn't want to trade his health away to attack because right now, he was trying to get back his rhythm. Therefore, his only choice was to continue retreating. These 8 after images let out 8 distinct streams of air, making it even more difficult to distinguish between the real and fake ones. Yu Feng could only dodge these 8 after images as if all of them were real. He even couldn't use his normal movements to evade them. He raised Burial Blossoms in the air and Blossoming Chaos dashed back, utilizing the Blade Master's Triple Slash. Triple Slash wasn't a common low-level skill that could be learned by all swordsmen. The only reason Blossoming Chaos could use it was because his Burial Blossoms had a bonus skill up for Triple Slash. From this, it could be seen that Yu Feng truly was different from an ordinary berserker. In his skill choices, he favored this Blade Master movement skill to give his attacks more life. Through this skill, Blossoming Chaos instantly completed his movement and all 8 dragon teeth after images missed. Yu Feng was wondering whether he should complete this triple slash and attack back. But he hadn't expected Tang Rou to immediately raise her spear after Phantom Dragon Teeth and unleash a Dragon Breaks the Ranks to chase after Blossoming Chaos. Yu Feng turned pale with fright. He hastily slashed again to turn away, but this time, the distance was too close. With Dragon Breaks the Ranks speed and power, even if it didn't fully connect, it still sent Blossoming Chaos into a tumble. Yu Feng immediately quick recovered. Blossoming Chaos rolled and stood up. Then, he heard a crash from above the air. He looked up and saw Soft Mist. WuxiaWorldAudio.com. This time, she had used a skill while airborne. The bloom of magic from Dragon rises from the sea locked onto Blossoming Chaos. Hit. This time, Yu Feng wasn't able to dodge it. The dragon rises from the sea landed on Blossoming Chaos's head. Tangrowth didn't wait for Soft Mist to land and followed with a furious dragon strikes the heart. To the naked eye, that magic force pierced straight through. Blossoming Chaos was sent flying back. Soft Mist chased after him. The chases produced from Dragon Tooth and Sky Strike batted against Blossoming Chaos. The entire stadium was dumbfounded. The spectators saw Tangrowth heroically clash with a top player levels higher than her and were already very satisfied. People would always be more lenient towards rookies. How the match played out was more important than the outcome. Even if Tangrowth lost to Yufeng, no one would say anything about it. It was just like how Mo Fan left the stage with 2 yellow cards turning into a red. That wasn't how someone should lose, but the crowd stopped themselves from throwing out ridicule. But right now, even someone who didn't understand glory could tell which side had the upper hand. Tangrowth was going to beat Yufeng. After a moment of shock, the venue erupted into astonished roars. Even if Happy won in the end, there wouldn't be such a commotion. It wasn't only to drive the team's morale. The crowd had been infected by Happy's battle strength. They wouldn't look down on their determination and future. On the other hand, Team 100 Blossoms players stared stupidly at this scene. Their captain was being suppressed by a rookie. Yes, it was true. Yufeng was both stunned and furious. He hadn't expected this rookie to be so explosive. He had retreated to try get back the pace of the match. He hadn't thought that this would be like a dam breaking. The opponent's offensive crashed towards him. Yufeng was a mess, a complete mess. The pace had originally been one that he didn't like. He could still play with it, thought. Even if he was being slightly suppressed, who won or who lost wasn't certain. But as soon as he stepped back, the opposing side stepped forward 100 steps. Establish his own rhythm. Yufeng didn't get the chance before his opponent overwhelmed him to the point that he couldn't even breathe. I'm going to lose. In this instant, this thought leaped into Yufeng's mind. How could a pro player not have a clear recognition of how the match was playing out? But even if he knew, what could he do? Yufeng did his best to defend. He was no longer looking for the rhythm that he preferred. Right now, he needed to keep up with his opponent's tempo and stabilize the situation. But I can't keep up. Yufeng discovered that Tangrowth was even faster and fiercer than the start of the battle. And this had been brought about because he had stepped back. In front of this opponent, you can't back down even a single step. In the end, along with this understanding, Blossoming Chaos fell. End chapter.